Hello, welcome back to the channel, and this is a channel where we give you reviews, playthroughs, unboxings, and we generally like to talk a lot of bollocks about tabletop gaming in general. And in this video, we're going to be running through our top 10 dice placement games. We've been playing a lot of dice placement games recently, so we thought we'd run through our top 10 games in this genre. Remember, if your number one dice placement game ain't on this list, that's probably because we ain't played every single dice placement game known to humanity. So let's crack on with this list. Bollocks! So number 10 on this list is a two-player only game. It's Claustrophobia. This recently got a sort of reprint about a year ago. We looked at it and we thought, nah, we've already got it. There's no point. This game comes with some wonderful pre-painted miniatures. Essentially what you're going to be doing, one person's going to be the evil geezer, the other person's going to be the good geezer, and you'll be constructing a dungeon out of these tiles, and you'll be making your way through these dungeons, trying to fulfill the requirements of the scenario. The evil person will have a load of monsters to put out onto the board, and this essentially works by assigning dice to a sort of matrix type thing on a player board that will give you certain actions, the power of which may get reduced as the game progresses. There was an expansion for this called De Profundis. That's sort of out of print now, the second edition, or the reprint's been made. But yeah, Claustrophobia, wonderful component quality, wonderful miniatures, and a wonderful two-player dice placement game. So number 9 on this list is Lords of Vegas. In this game, you will be placing dice out onto the Las Vegas Strip, trying to take over your opponent's casinos whilst building your casinos, hopefully in the most lucrative places available on the board. There's loads to do in this game. You can gamble at your opponent's casinos, and if you've got the expansion, you can even build upwards with the up expansion, no less. Love Lords of Vegas. It is a really simple game. Basically, the random card deck is going to determine where you can build your casino, but then it's up to you to sort of mitigate the random nature of that. Try and build the most efficient and lucrative network of casinos possible. So next game on this list is a game called Kingsberg. In this game, you'll be rolling a minimum of 3 dice, and then you'll be placing them on a member of the court to gain a favour, take an action. The lower the number you roll, the less powerful the action, but the more powerful the action you take, the more expensive the action is going to be. Another thing in this game you've got to be aware of is that you're going to have a little bit of a scrap with a horde of nasties at certain points in the game, so you've got to prepare for that as well. But Kingsberg is a wonderful dice placement game. Again, this got a reprint which incorporated certain aspects of the To Forge a Realm expansion, which pretty much was essential. But Kingsberg, don't really hear many people talking about it these days. I love getting my teeth stuck into this one because there is a little bit of sort of take that when you steal the other person's space when they wanted to go there, you know what I mean? So next game on this list is a sort of real-time sort of game. It's Space Cadets Dice Duel. This is a game that is sort of based on the original Space Cadets game where everyone's going to be taking control of a station on board a sort of a Star Trekky type ship thing. This one's different because you'll be rolling dice that will dictate to you how well you can operate that station. You might be able to take control of the tractor beam, all the weapons, all the shields, but you'll be facing off against another team in sort of real time, moving your ship around the galaxy, trying to blow them up. And this is sort of a precursor to that game, Captain Sonar, which uses submarines, right? So yeah, sadly, this one's out of print. I don't know if it's ever going to come back. You better speak to Jeff Engelstein if you want to get hold of a copy of this, because I think he's a bloke who designed it. But it's a wonderful dice placement game. I suppose technically it isn't a placement game. We love Space Cadets Dice Duel. So our next game on this list is Satyatiwakan, and this is essentially a rondel game because you'll be placing dice out onto the board, but you will have to move around each action location space in a clockwise manner. When you move your worker or die to a new location, you'll be choosing one of the 2 areas that will allow you to perform the action, or maybe upgrade one of your workers, or you could take the bonus action that will give you a more powerful action, but it won't give you the bonus. You'll be able to research technologies in this game. You'll be able to raise up the pyramid. You'll be able to build houses for the inhabitants of Teotihuacan, and you'll also be able to secure some bonuses from the temples of the gods, right? Whilst this isn't like a sort of a traditional rondel game, you're still going to be moving around a board in a circular fashion, taking action. So in a sense, it is like a dice-driven rondel game. Love this game. It's got some superb components. It looks absolutely fantastic, and yeah, you should play it. If you ain't played it, you're a den. So the next game, I've lost count again of these bleeding lists. I always forget what number I'm on. But the next game on this list is a game by Vladimir Sushi. It is Pulsar 2849. This is a space-themed game where you'll be taking the role of a corporation and you'll be trying to solidify your influence in the galaxy by mining and exploiting the power of the pulsars, right? You can move around the galaxy on the main map. You can invest in technologies. You'll be able to put gyrodynes out into the galaxy that will give you victory points and extra stuff. And this game features a wonderful mechanism where you'll be rolling all the dice and you'll be placing them out in sort of a median fashion, where the middle die will give you a bit more of a bonus type thing, right? This game looks a little bit poo. The colours are all washed out, and it's not the most prettiest thing to look at. If you can peel away that layer of bullshit, then Pulsar 2849 offers just enough complexity to make this game absolutely intriguing. So the next game on this list is another game by Daniel Tassini, and it is Voyages of Marco Polo. In this game, you'll be rolling your dice and you'll be placing the dice out onto the board and taking an action associated with that space. You might be able to roam around the Asian continent, erecting trading posts that will give you special abilities. You might be able to purchase a big bunch of camels that will be your friends in a very, very lonely world. The thing that makes this game so great is that it comes with a huge selection of characters that give you a game-breaking special ability. Like, for instance, one of the characters in there will let you choose what dice you roll, for instance. This game looks absolutely gorgeous, got some wonderful artwork, and it is one of the best dice placement games out there that we have played. Marco Polo, nothing to do with ice cream. So the next game on this list is a game by Stefan Feld. Yes, you know what it is. It's that game that used to be cheap, but it's now really expensive. It's Castles of Burgundy. This is a game where you'll be rolling just a couple of dice or 3 dice or whatever, and you'll be using the numbers on the dice to develop spaces on your estate that correspond to those numbers. You might want to ship goods to the wider world. You might want to stick animals in your estate. You might want to build a few buildings that give you special benefits and special abilities for the rest of the game. But at the end of the day, this is a game that, whilst it's devoid of any theme, you just got some geezer looking out of his castle window on a box cover. It is a rich and varied game that we have been playing now since, well, I don't know, when was it released? 2012, something like that. We've been playing this for donkey's years, and we will continue to play Castles of Burgundy for years to come. So the next game on this list is another game that is set in space. It's Alien Frontiers, and this is a game that's now on its 5th edition, which seems a bit mind-boggling since the game hasn't really changed that much. But in this game, you'll be rolling your dice and you'll be placing them out on the board in the usual fashion to take actions associated with those spaces. The difference being that the dice that you place on the board will stay there until your next turn, blocking up spaces. You'll be trying to get as much fuel as possible. You'll be trying to obtain as much ore, and you'll be trading these resources in to eventually build colonies on the main planet that will give you a special ability that will make all the difference to you trying to win the game, right? Alien Frontiers is a basic and simple dice placement sort of Euro style game, which isn't going to be for everybody, but seeing as I am thick as dog shit, this game suits me down to the ground because I don't have to read the rule book when I'm digging it out, and the simplicity of the mechanics makes this infinitely replayable for me, right? So yeah, Alien Frontiers, wonderfully simple dice placement game, right? So the final game in this list of our top 10 dice placement games of all time, well, maybe not all time, as of like 10 seconds ago, is a game called Trois. This is a game that has some of the most evocative and superb artwork, right? It's got that medieval style sort of Bayeux tapestry artwork on the cover. Essentially what everyone's going to do, they're going to roll their dice, they're going to stick them in the centre of the board. That's what's called amassing the workforce, right? And you'll be using these dice to take different actions. You might want to activate one of the activity cards that are out on the main board. You can stick your dice in the cathedral to construct a cathedral, right? You can stick one of your citizens in the bishopric, or you can use your dice to combat events that are going to kill you later on in the game, right? Trois is an amazing dice placement game. It's an amazing Euro game. And if you add in the Ladies of Trois expansion, it becomes even better. This game is the full package if you're looking for an accessible yet complex Euro style game. So we can't recommend this one enough. If you haven't played Trois, then you really are a stupid twat. So there you go. That's our top 10 dice placement games. This is a genre that we've been getting bang into lately, you know what I mean? And it doesn't seem like we're going to stop playing these games for a little while yet. So that's our top 10 dice placement games voted on by me. So remember, if you're new here, then please consider subscribing to this channel. Leave a comment in that section down below, and we'll see you next time.